Hey guys, this is Neil again, back with another video. This is video number 3, I believe. Did I wear the shirt last time I did the video?
You might. I think you did.
I promise I changed.
I'm pretty
sure. Okay, anyways, this is one time I was on a fishing boat. This story I'm gonna call fishing on a lake, and it was when I was fishing on the lake. Oh boy. I got my boat and put it in the water, and I had 2 friends with me. Their names were Steven and Steven. That was kind of ironic because they're both named Steven, but I promise you it's true. Okay, so I was walking, and I got to the lake shore, and I put my boat in the water, and I started it up and everything, and it went great. You know, I made key, put it in the keyhole, turned it, and it went, and I started driving. So I drove away, and I pulled up to our house. You know, we unloaded our gear and everything into the house, and you know, life was great. Life was absolutely, positively great. And so I pull up, and there's a dog sitting on the shore, and I'm like, what's there a dog doing on the shore? Anyways, that doesn't have anything to do with my story. And so we got back in the boat, and it was about midnight by now. Okay, so we're gonna go striper fishing, which they like to bite at nighttime. Don't ask why. I'm not a fish. So we were going to catch some stripers, and they were in the water over like 5 miles away. So we get 3 miles, and I'm driving, and then it stops. My boat stops completely, and I'm like, why does my boat stop? And so I turn it on again, and it goes, and it turns off. And I'm like, this is probably not good. And so I told my friend, I was like, Steven, would you mind going to check the gas and see how much we have? And so he goes and tramples over to the gas tank, and he looks inside, and the gas tank's empty. The gas tank's empty. And so I'm like, well, we're in the middle of a lake at midnight with no gas, and I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna do here, but I'm gonna try to do something. And of course, I look and my phone's dead, so I can't call anybody. So I'm like, well, what good is that gonna do? So I throw it away. And, anyways, a boat's driving by, and I'm like, Steven, a boat's driving by. So we wave him down. We're like, boat, stop, 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 stop. And the boat just keeps driving. And so we're like, well, man, what are we gonna do? We're out here alone with no phone. So I just chucked it, and I'm like, dude, we're stuck. And so another boat starts driving by, and we're like, boat, stop, please stop, please stop. And I have a flashlight, and I'm shining it. I'm like, stop, stop, stop. And so he stops and comes over to us, and I'm like, excuse me, sir, captain, whatever you want me to call you. My boat died, and I need you to take me home or to a gas station, because there's like boat gas stations and stuff. I don't know. Well, it's kind of nifty sometimes. And so he tows me to the boat gas station, and we pull up, and it's still open and whatnot. And so it's 12:58 right now, and so we're at the gas station, and this guy, he drops me off and leaves, and there's no other boats here because it's that late at night. And so we get out, and there's a certain mixture of gas and oil you need in order to have your boat run. And so I didn't have the correct amount of oil with me. So I'm like, I think we need to get some oil. And so we get the gas can, and we put it next to the thing the gas, and we start to fill it up. And that's when we realize that we don't have the oil. So we're like, well, crap, how are we gonna get the oil? And so we walk down the little boat landing thing, and we're like, excuse me, sir, because there's this guy standing there. Do you know of any gas stations nearby? And he's like, yeah, there's this one like a couple blocks down the road. You can stop there and check. They might have some oil. And so I was like, thank you, sir, you're awesome. And so I started walking down the road at 12. It was 1 o'clock right now. So me and Steven, you know, we're walking down the road, and all of a sudden, we get on top of the hill, and we look, and for 5 miles, there's no gas station. There's no lights. It's pitch black. So I'm like, oh crap, where are we gonna go now? So we turn around, and we come all the way back to the boat landing, and there's some guy down at his shop working late at night, and we're like, sir, I tried to find a gas station, couldn't find it. what am I gonna do? My house is like 5 miles from here, you know, I don't know what to do. And so the guy was like, well, how about I take you home and show you how to live life? No. I was like, sir, how about you just take me to my house and let me get my truck, and I will come back and pick up my boat. And he's like, okay. So he drove me to his house, to my house. I got my truck, got the oil, got the gas can and whatnot, and drove back to the boat. And we're at the boat now. And I was like, okay, Steven, here's the oil. Put it in the mixture and everything and get it right. And then we'll start it up, and you'll drive the boat back to the house. I'll drive the truck back, and we'll be happily ever after. Well, so he gets the can, and he starts to fill it up, and he mixes it all perfectly. We dump it in the gas can of the boat, and so we're ready. And so I was like, here's the key, start it up. And my key's on like a bungee string thing, so I hand him one end, and then like I slid my hand down the other end, and he went to grab it, and it sort of fling. And so it went, and all of a sudden I heard, my key had just landed in the water. And I did not have a floaty thing, so my key did not float. And so here we are with a boat with no key at 1:27 in the morning, and my truck is right here. But I can't load the boat on my truck because the boat's too big to load on my truck just right here, so we have to go to the boat landing. So I have a 1 horsepower trolling motor, which is like an electric motor, and it's really small. And I have this big boat with a little teeny tiny engine, so I was going to meet Steve and Steven over at the boat landing, which was 2 miles away, and they were going to drive my truck there. So they drove my truck there, and so to make it lighter, they drove in the truck, and I just went by myself in the boat. So I was like, and I'm working my way over here. It takes me 2 hours to get there. And I'm almost there. Like I can see it in the distance. I see Steven going, hey! And I'm like, and I hear, so I turn around, and there's a boat right behind me, a super big, like, oyster boat right behind me. And I'm like, oh. And so he swerves out of the way. Water splashes on me. I came that close to dying. I could have died that night, but luckily I lived. So I was like, and I got back to the boat landing, and I loaded my boat up, and I didn't load my boat up because Steven called while I was on my way over, and he was like, Neil, where's the key to the trailer? Because I had my trailer locked so nobody could steal it. And I was like, oh, it's in my pocket. And so I was getting there, and I got all the way to the boat landing, and they met me there, and they're like, okay, so you have the key? And I was like, the key's on my bed back at the house. So we had to drive back to the house, get the key, come back, and then go back and get the boat trailer, and then we came, loaded up the boat. So we were driving back to the house. We got to the house, and I sat in my bed, and I went to get under my bed because I was in the bottom of a bunk bed, and I went boom, and I hit my head on the top of the bunk bed to finish off my night. But luckily we're alive, life's good, and we all are living happily ever